Speaking of Joe Biden, he is having the worst day ever. The worst week ever, the worst year ever. We already know Joe Biden is an absolute disgrace to the country. We know that from day one. He has just been on a rampage to destroy America. Well, guess what? He's now earned another record. Joe Biden is officially the worst president in American history. It's not my opinion. It's fact. According to a Quinnipiac poll, Joe Biden is now polling at an approval rating of just 33%. Guys, to put it into perspective, how bad this man is, okay? 34% by Donald Trump post-insurrection was Trump's worst approval rating ever. And you have to remember, this is after Pelosi and the Democrats and the 4-year witch hunt. This is after they beat this man up over and over and over again and brainwashed half of the American people to think Orange Man bad. Even then, he still didn't do worse than Joe Biden, okay? A manufactured insurrection is what it took for Trump's approval rating to reach his all-time low of 34%. Biden just beat that today, 33%. Since we've been running approval ratings for presidents starting back in 1940. So Joe Biden is now taking the record for being the worst president in United States history. So Joe Biden's off to a really, really shitty start to his presidency. He hasn't even been president for a year, and already we're seeing SCOTUS slam him, and we're seeing approval ratings tank. Down 17 percentage points, by the way, since last February. When Joe Biden took office, he was up 17 points. I didn't even know it was possible to do that bad in such a short period of time. And Republican senators and governors have said it a million times. How do you do this bad unless you're trying to do this bad? Well, believe it or not, guys, I honestly at this point think Joe Biden is trying to do this bad. Let's break down some of the stats here, though, because I think you guys want to know. Okay, great. This Quinnipiac poll just came out that, first of all, there's a lot of polls out there. Okay, I know a lot of you guys are saying 33%. That's way higher than it should be, or I don't believe that. It's got to be much lower. Yeah, and I know you'd think it would be, but have you been to New York State? Because trust me, there's a lot of freaking people here who worship the ground. People like Kathy Hochul, Governor Gavin Newsom, and Joe Biden walk on. So if you haven't been to a far left deep blue state and you want to know how the hell Biden even has 33%, go check out those states. You'll find out very quickly. So Quinnipiac poll, to me personally, a lot of the mainstream media use it. Not that that really says much today, but they do use it because they try to get as unbiased of a fair vantage point as possible. Personally, I like Quinnipiac. I don't really tend to look at any other poll. Rasmussen's also a good one. So if you really want to look and dig down to the and gain a little bit of an understanding as to the reliability of these polls, Quinnipiac, Rasmussen are probably my two favorites. What else does this poll have to say? Because it gives us a lot of insight on where we're headed towards the 2022 midterms, because this is why personally I look at these polls. Whether you think they're full of shit or not, I still like to look at them to give me some sort of indication as to where we are headed over the next year. President Biden's job approval rating, for those of you who are just joining us, has tumbled to 33% in the latest Quinnipiac University poll, a whopping 17 percentage point drops from February, and an indication of American voters' deep dissatisfaction over his administration's response to rising inflation and a resurgence of COVID-19. Remember, Joe Biden ran on the campaign promise of ending COVID. He was going to put an end to it. And then last month, he came out and basically said, federal government really can't do much. And his handlers were like, oh my God, I can't believe he just freaking said that. It caused all sorts of disaster and chaos. And the very next day he came out and said, oh, wait, we have a plan again. I mean, this is the insanity that we're freaking dealing with here. I mean, listen, love or hate Trump. We weren't segregated. We weren't crazy. We didn't hate each other. We weren't being forced to do things against our will, and a lot of people have been. Times were not that bad under President Trump. Let's be perfectly honest here. Sure, he was a bit of an asshole, but what politician isn't? Okay? 3/4 of Democrats said they approve of Biden. There's your 33%, while just 25% of independents approve of Joe Biden. Now that's big, people. That is big, because we lost because those independents chose Biden over Trump. So that's huge to know that just 25% of all independents approve of Joe Biden right now. Only 2% of Republicans approve of Joe Biden. Funny though, because all of you rhinos out there who were so convinced that Biden was going to be better than Trump just because you were sick of listening to the chaos, yeah, great reason to vote for Biden. All of you guys are now saying this guy is horrendous for America. So 25% of independents approve, only 2% of Republicans approve. Biden also received failing marks for his handling of the economy. Only 34% approve. 39% approve of how he's handled the pandemic. And only 35% have approved of how he's handled foreign policy. 49% say the president is doing more to divide this country, while only 42% he's working to unite it. I mean, who are these 49%? I mean, have they turned on the freaking news? Have they listened to a single speech this man has given? Even Al Sharpton, which I referenced on my show yesterday, said this guy is a freaking nutcase. Mitch McConnell said, I barely recognize this man, and I've known Joe for a long time. Stacey Abrams didn't even join Joe Biden and Kamala Harris down in Georgia a couple days ago when they gave their speech in front of the Martin Luther King Monument, trying to rally people to cheat their way through the next election. Even Stacey Abrams went nowhere near it, which just goes to show the black community is also sick of the talk, and they want to see more doing. Well, guess what? The black community got screwed over once again. But are you surprised? We saw what happened down in BLM. We saw what's happened in the past. Every 4 years, the Dems show up to take care of the black communities and then quietly disappear, never to be heard again until the next election, of course, where they need their votes. I hope the black community has learned once and for all that you don't have to vote blue. You can be black and still vote red. Hopefully that message is now clear. But when asked which party they would want to control the House of Representatives if the midterm elections were held today, Republicans edged out Democrats, 43% to 42%. So that's good. And this isn't just a poll to the Dems. It's not just a poll to Republicans. This is a poll to every single class of voter, all 3, 4, 5, whatever parties, but we focus on Republicans, Democrats, Independents. So we are holding a slight edge, a 1 percentage point edge, taking control of the House of Representatives in the midterms. When asked which party they'd want to be a majority in the Senate, 45% chose Republicans, while 41% said Democrats. And this kind of backs up what I've been saying this whole time. And it's very encouraging, because I said, listen, I think we're going to blow through the Senate next year. I really do. I think that's a done deal. I think the Senate is ours. I think we have that one in the bag. And 45% of chose Republicans, while only 41% chose Democrats as far as who they want the majority to be in the Senate next year. And I don't think we're going to breeze through taking back the House, but I do think we have a very good shot at it. And again, 43% said they want Republicans to take the House versus only 42%. Now, where does Donald Trump stand in all of this? What do we have to say about Trump? Well, nearly 6 out of 10 respondents, okay, this is of all parties now, Democrats, independents, and Republicans. Nearly 6 out of 10 respondents, 60%, said they would not want to see former President Trump run for the White House again in 2024, while just 33% said they would. I asked today on my news feed, who would you rather see run up against Hillary? Because listen, guys, you laugh all you want. I'm telling you right now, Hillary's their girl. She is going to be put forward. This is the calm before the storm before you see Hillary come back out on the scene. She's been very quiet. They've told her to go underground. She's removed herself from Biden long time ago. She's distanced herself from all of this nonsense. And now all of a sudden, the headlines, I'm starting to see more and more, Hillary this, Hillary that. Hillary is going to be their front runner. So who are we going to put, Trump or DeSantis? Well, 60% of people say they don't want to see Trump run. 33% said they would. More than 2/3 of Republicans. Now, if you just focus on Republicans only, more than 2/3 of Republicans, 69%, say they want Trump to run again. Now, this is down from 78% to express support for another presidential bid in October. So just in October, we had 78% of Republicans wanting Trump to go for it. Well, it's now down to 69%. So we've lost 9 percentage points on that. The moral of the story is Joe Biden is a freaking disgrace for the American people. SCOTUS just knocked him on his ass today by blocking the vaccine mandate, and things are all starting to look up. 2022 midterms are going to be here before we know it, people. They're going to be here. We got to start thinking about that now. We got to get out there and make a big, monumental push.